Palmdale.
It wouldn't hurt.
We're going to have a few brief statements, and then we will take some questions. I'm going to introduce Captain Ron Schaefer, will be the first speaker, and it will be followed by Mayor Hoffman.
Good afternoon, I'm Captain Ron Schaefer. I'm the unit commander for Palmdale Sheriff Station. And along the lines of the press release that we published earlier, it was on June 10th at approximately 3:39 hours in the morning. A passerby noticed a male who was later identified as 24-year-old Robert L. Fuller. He was hanging from a tree in the 38,300 block of 9th Street East in the city of Palmdale. Personnel from the adjacent fire station responded and determined that he had passed. The Sheriff's Homicide Bureau and the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office responded to the scene. Although the investigation is ongoing, it appears that Mr. Fuller has tragically died by suicide.
That's a lie. That's a lie. That's wrong. Right. No peace. No peace. No peace. No peace.
You have no evidence.
He's trying to give you the coroner's initial impression.
Get another coroner.
We
It's
know.
not done. It's not done. It's not done.
It's 2020.
It's not done.
It's right. It's not.
Let him spew it out.
So why would you put out a public statement saying that it was possible suicide if you don't have all the answers?
Because it's
Who made that assumption?
You guys remember what the first coroner said about George Floyd? Remember what they said about George Floyd, the first coroner? We need to get another coroner.
Yes.
We need another coroner.
Let's go.
Independent autopsy.
Autopsy report says she had no injuries when she was shot 8 times by the police and murdered in her own home.
And you guys mishandle every big media case. We have no faith in you after this whole Gabriel thing just happened. And this is now. This part with the black boy, y'all so quick to sweep it under the rug. You don't have the city's faith at all. And I know y'all don't seem surprised or shocked by it, but we need complete transparency with this.
There's no meeting with the devil. There's no meeting.
Comprehensive to you guys. That way it's non-biased. That's what we're looking for.
Maybe someone outside the city.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Our job is to serve and protect.
Somebody in
And we don't feel like we're protected. At all. I have 3 black children. And they should be able to go to the store with no problem.
Yes.
I shouldn't feel in fear for them to walk to the store and go get candy. That's not okay. It's not okay.
Why are we signing petitions to fucking make lynching illegal? And then this happens right away. Why is that going around everywhere? And why are we saying it's a suicide before we're trying to pass a petition?
And he wasn't killed
Come
in
on.
the backyard. Can you humor
Why
us?
was it right here? Why was it right here in public, in front of City Hall, next to a church, in front of a library? Why was it like that? Who would do that? No black man would hang himself in public like that. And I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that.
Let them read the report. Hey, let them speak up. Let them read the report.
Where's the surveillance?
Where's that?
Where the video at?
Who found them?
Read the report.
Read the report.
You will not make me believe that on this courtyard there is not surveillance with a
No
fire
surveillance.
department.
Somebody already knew that. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. And how are you not crying? How are you looking at us like this?
Like with no sympathy.
No sympathy? You're supposed to be guarding this place. How are you looking at us like that?
This could be your son.
How are you looking at us like that?
Just because of the color of his skin and somebody did it like him.
Where's your heart, bro? It's not on your sleeve. It's not on your sleeve. It's not under that badge. I'll tell you that. Where is it at? Where is it at?
I think if we can continue with the report, then if you have questions, I think we want to hear from everyone.
We just want to see video. Surveillance.
Let them get through their comments. We do have family.
We just don't want to be lied to. So to sit here and tell us that he committed suicide, in case you haven't noticed, we have a history of
Tell the
nooses.
truth. Tell
We
the
don't
truth.
like ropes around our necks.
Are you a mom?
So to sit up there and say,
Right.
that's
Tell
not
them.
something that you do. Y'all know It was a message. It was a message for the protests that we had in Palmdale and one in Lancaster. Because you executed that 63-year-old
Speak with your chest, bro.
We are all the same. Look at you guys. We're all the same people.
The investigation is continuing and a full autopsy is being completed. Also, there has been contact with his family and to make sure that this investigation is continuing and we get a full understanding of how his death occurred. If anyone has information about Mr. Polk or the incident, his recent travels and where he's been staying, we encourage you to call our homicide bureau so we can get a complete picture.
Bullshit.
The fire department doesn't have any cameras?
323-890-5500.
Say that again.
323-890-5500.
They have surveillance.
They have surveillance. Where the surveillance
surveillance. It's time to pull the surveillance.
Do you have CCTV?
I hope you're ready.
Say it with your chest, bro.
Surveillance. No justice, no peace. Surveillance. That's not fair. That hurts. That hurts. That hurts. We have kids that hurts. You don't understand our pain.
There is a lot of commentary about the benefit or the use or the existence of video camera, and there are no video cameras in this building.
Then bullshit.
That is bullshit. That is bullshit. That's a goddamn lie. That's a goddamn lie. We're in City Hall. There's a fucking lie. It's a lie, bro.
That's not fair.
It's a fucking lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. You looked already. It's a lie.
Say that again.
What's that camera that's out here on top of the
City Hall.
building? There's a camera right there.
I have somebody on camera that said they work here.
Michael brought up a great point. Those aren't cameras.
What are they, sir?
What is this, to scare people?
They're laser beams like you put up by your house with the red and the green.
The stars. What the fuck is that about?
If you listen, I'll tell you. Because we're spending thousands of dollars on cleaning up the crows poop out here. That's there to scare the birds away.
What's
So
more
it's got,
important, the birds?
so those are nothing more than Walmart laser beams. Those are Walmart laser beams.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Walmart laser beams.
Yeah, that's what he's telling you, baby.
You could get some Walmart little laser beams.
He's telling you City Hall has no cameras. You guys can't even protect our city then. You can't protect our city.
I feel like I think we got moved on.
There's no school. There's no
And the last mayor got
They wasn't suicidal. You're trying to tell us that he's suicidal?
That's crazy.
Hell no.
That's out. That's out. That is out. Hell no.
You don't even know if you tell us that the autopsy is trying to figure out if he committed suicide, but then you tell the city he committed suicide. You don't even know when you tell us. Fuck you. That's what I said to you guys.
Yep.
Maybe we'll have faith that you're not covering.
Are you listening?
They're not even listening.
Are you listening? Are you listening? Talk amongst yourself. Talk amongst yourself. Are you fucking listening? Are you fucking listening? Apologize, motherfucker. Apologize. Were you listening? Because you weren't listening, bitch. You weren't listening. I saw you, bro. We all saw you. We saw you talking amongst each other. This one woman is standing there trying to fucking vocalize how she feels, and you can't fucking listen.
Hey, we all feel it. You gotta calm
But you
down.
can't cuss, sweetheart. Just let's give them respect, cause you know what? We're not here to do that. We not. That's what we're fighting for. That it's okay. You don't have to act like that. You don't have to act like that. They already acted ugly enough. That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But it's not okay, cause that's why we're here.
No, and you know what? And you are 100% right. I'm gonna get away from this thing here. You are 100% right. Oh, I got the microphone. All right, Jesus. Anyways, you're 100% right. It is not right.
It's not.
It's damn wrong that this has happened. And that's why we're working really hard. I got the vice mayor here. I've got my pastor here, Ralph Parrott. We're working hard to try to figure out exactly what happened. I cannot predict, I can't pull it out of a crystal ball what the coroner and the sheriff department's going to find here. We have to rely on the contract sheriff department and their downtown detectives to figure this out. What was put out on media,
80 times.
Was
What was put-
irresponsible. It
what
was
was-
irresponsible.
what was put out on media was the repeat of what the initial preliminary findings were from the sheriff's.
Speculation.
What was
From
the
the-
initial? How long did it take to accumulate that initial perspective
So
of
you're
the
saying-
crime scene? Was
That
it an hour
morning,
later?
I was out there. That morning, when they were taking down the
You need
tape,
to take time
trying
to do the
find out
autopsy
what
before
happened.
you even
Then why
determine
did you
it's a
label it as
You
suicide
cannot
if
do
it's still
that.
under investigation?
We didn't label it. The
He
sheriff-
just
we
said
repeated
it. He just
the-
said it.
Okay, you asked me. I can't say that.
But you're speaking for him. He represents you.
No, I'm speaking for the city right now.
Okay.
He represents you. He's
he
supposed to.
represents
Okay.
Are you guys saying he tried to commit suicide?
That was what the preliminary.
That's what came out of his mouth.
Title of the article.
From the coroner and the investigators that were out there.
Just 'cause
Now,
you're
I
hanging
am,
from a
I
tree
am,
doesn't
I
mean
am
you
damn
have- you
determined to
committed
find out,
suicide.
and that's why the city manager and I have been working the phones to talk with other investigative agencies that may be able to assist us in this process. What can help us more than anything is, like the captain said, the hardest thing that they've got going right now is trying to figure out what was going on with Mr. Fuller the last few weeks. Where was he? Who is he in contact with?
No, what happened with him that day? We don't want to know
Excuse
weeks
me.
ago. We want to know what happened that day.
Yeah, but there's things that lead up to it, okay?
Yeah, like hours before. Like you can look through CCTV hours before. You guys have cameras
His
on
family,
all the,
if you're
traffic
insinuating
cameras.
his family's not
No,
going to
those-
hang him from a
no,
tree.
those are low resolution and all they can barely
Do
tell
they
us
see
is a
people
cut.
if they're following him?
No.
Okay, well, I have a question. Are you saying there's no cameras around here?
Is that what you have?
If
That's
you
ridiculous.
want to come over Monday, I'll take you up to the traffic information
We're
center.
gonna be here
I mean,
Monday.
Monday? What time Monday? What time Monday? What time Monday, sir? Excuse me? You said Monday. What time Monday?
Call over here, just call.
No, I would like to know because I would like to be here because I want to hear from you. I would like to personally be here Monday.
Well, she had a question about the cameras. Okay?
Yeah, I do too. That's what I would like to know.
But there's not, the cameras aren't here, so it's just.
So there are no cameras around here circling around this city hall
Did
building?
you go to
There are
each
no.
restaurant?
I'll answer the question. So there's a repeat, somebody understand Ambrose.
Why are there no cameras at a government building? That doesn't make any sense. Why are there no cameras?
I want to try to
There hasn't been a need
Not a
for it.
government building. That makes no
There's
sense.
always
I'm sorry. Go ahead. She's trying to explain to what we were asking.
To the budget.
There's cameras on the
So
traffic stop.
there is a question about cameras.
Yes.
I want to try to relay a little answer to that. So we do not have cameras installed around our city hall complex. Here in any of the buildings, on the buildings, or in the parks that's behind
wow.
City Hall.
So you guys don't believe in crime?
That has been the current state of.
Negligent.
That's what you don't
Yes,
believe in
that's
crime.
negligent.
There was a second question about cameras
Racism
on the
and
traffic
crime.
signals. And so there aren't cameras on our traffic signals.
Okay.
They're
You
not
plan on
cameras
putting in
that record.
cameras?
They're used for monitoring traffic, being
for
able to
tickets.
look at if there's traffic congestion.
What about a
and
homicide?
things like that. They do not record what they see. So there
They-
isn't a
they take
recording
pictures
of
of your
the
car.
cameras you see around the city to look at a later time who went through or committed the crime. That is not a system that we have in the city.
And I hope this
There
is
were
not
also
an
questions
inside.
about that.
Yeah, what exact tree was it at?
JJ can answer that because he talked to the firemen that went out.
Because if we're putting candles on the wrong tree, then we look ridiculous.
No, they rather
we
put
got-
stuff for the birds to kill the birds.
Right.
Yeah.
And bird seeds and stuff.
I want to assure you that
What did you say those were again, sir? You said you were going to show us that those were lasers
no, I
on
say if you
Monday?
want to come by and look at the traffic cameras, but there's nothing to see. All it does is count how many cars are right there.
What time
If you run a
Monday?
red
Okay, so-
light, you will get a ticket in the mail. It will take a picture of your car.
No.
And your license plate.
The lady back there in the t-shirt asked about the things, the cameras at the signals. Those are low resolution and are not recorded. Those only to trigger the signal.
So was there a signal trigger
What's
got
that?
by?
Are you?
No, it has not been in the budget. Well,
What are you doing now?
In the budget. What are you guys paying for?
Yeah, what the fuck?
What did they do?
Yes.
And I got people saying they work for the city and it's cameras.
Period.
I have people on my side telling you
Period.
Terry Lee.
Period.
Terry Lee.
Period.
Terry Lee,
This is a racist issue. This is a racist
It's really
issue.
hard to hear a lot of people talking all at once, so if we could.
And this is a problem.
Okay.
We could narrow it down.
No, we're not going to do that for no killing, a lynching.
Very little newspaper you can see that says a suicide suspect. You said that was your preliminary report.
No, it wasn't mine.
He said that. The sheriff said that.
Was they popped up and saw somebody hanging from the damn tree, and they posed suicide. That was it. They didn't do no autopsy, no nothing yet.
But you released that
Whatsoever.
They found him hanging from a tree.
And if you're racist,
I gotta make sure it's one. It might be
you don't
one. Let me
need
just
to
make sure it's one.
be here or
I can't remember if it's one or two.
If you're allowing this kind of stuff to go on. Crazy.
Bring the sheriff back.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many hangings? How many
How many real racist killings are going on that are not documented? How many?
Everybody's asked the same thing. How does a black man hang himself?
In front of city.
So why is it a suicide?
That's why they don't.
You found him hanging, but it's a suicide? Are you fucking kidding me?
No, we agree. Why didn't you back to my
To settle us down. To try to settle us down, you think that's going to work? It's not going to work.
We can give you the number for the coroner and you can pick that up.
Okay, I have a question.
And now you're playing with somebody's death. That's not funny. To call the coroner. No, you call the coroner.
If you want to ask one question at a time, we'll try to answer.
He doesn't even.
I got a question. I got a
He's
question.
telling jokes.
One at a time.
I got a question. All right, there's 2, 4, 5 of you. If you could each answer with a yes or a no, this is the question. Do you think a black man would hang himself in public? Yes or no? Let's start with you. Let's start. Hey, let's start with you. Let's start with you. Yes or no?
With the situation that George just went through.
I'll give my answer. I don't think he
No, we're
would.
not going to make a stigma around black health. Black people commit suicide. I'm not saying he committed suicide. We're not going to create a stigma that black people don't hang themselves. I'm here for the whole movement, but we're not going to say black people don't have mental health.
No, what we're saying is he didn't hang himself. That's what we're saying. I don't think he hung himself. I don't think he hung himself.
Listen, there are a couple of things that we are going to have to get answered on behalf of them so that we know our next steps to go forward. Now, we know what stance we're in right now. We know who we need to be talking to, and that's amongst ourselves, right? And we need to be able to figure out an organized direction that we're going to take from this point on. And so before we do that, we're going to hear what they need to say. And the important thing is that everything that they're saying is on camera right now. So the main thing that we need to do is allow them to get that out so that we have something to hold them accountable for.
Yeah.
So from this point, we're going to let them say that stuff. We're going to give the family, if they want to speak, an opportunity to speak. And then after that, we're going to hold them accountable for every single word that they say. If y'all have questions, make sure that y'all position those questions in a way that makes sure that they have to answer it in something that they can be accountable for.
So I'm going to have JJ address a couple things here as our city manager. And but again, we're as interested as every single person in this room is to get to the bottom of this. Again, my children and my grandchildren play in this park every day.
Yeah, but they're white.
What if your grandchild
Y'all ain't help. Let's let him talk.
Y'all ain't helping our cause.
One accord, y'all. One accord. One accord on our end. We gotta be on one accord.
Yep.
Okay.
The first thing I want to say is our heart goes out to the family, and goes out to Robert, okay? We are not gonna let a stone go unturned in this investigation. And we're gonna keep at it. I know you want answers, we want answers, okay? We have preliminary answers. They're going further, okay? All I can tell you is we care for the right answer. And if it takes 3 days or 3 months, we owe it to Robert and we owe it to his family to come up with the right answer. So I appreciate Ayande asking for proper dialogue. You know, I'll answer questions, but if we get into a yelling and screaming, then we can't answer. It's not productive, okay? So,
Can I say something?
Hold on. I'm pointing to the lady with the gold on.
Yeah, I'm just curious, if there's an investigation, why is it not a crime scene around there?
Investigation.
Let him answer it, guys. Let him answer it.
The crime scene was investigated the day of and cleared the day of. The investigation continues because they're looking for things beyond the location. And that is what's continuing. What was discovered the day of was captured, memorialized, and will go into their report.
So then
The
can
rest
you
of the
answer
stuff
why
will be
there's no
after the fact.
cameras?
So, second question, if it's still under investigation, why is it automatically being deemed in the newspaper as a suicide when investigation's not finished?
The preliminary finding, and this happens in the majority of the cases that the coroner's office investigates, is they will have a preliminary finding. And then from there, they went on to a full autopsy, and all that information is gonna have to come out in their final report.
And I did want to point out that this is our 15th suicide in Palmdale this year. The majority
Excuse me. You said that it's being investigated still, so why are you labeling it?
Well, because the preliminary report came back as a suicide, right? So.
I don't know why you're smirking. I don't think that's a clever quip, or I don't know why you're smirking when you say that. If you're saying that it came out as a preliminary, then you shouldn't be saying, you should say alleged.
Okay, you're correct.
Yes.
We've had 14 suicides and now an alleged 15
suspected.
suicides. And I'll say that.
Alleged 15.
But it does not minimize the impact of 15 lives are not with us right now. And almost double that have attempted suicide.
That's
So
irrelevant right now.
we have a real issue with mental health, especially post-COVID. For the majority of this year, we've had more deaths from suicide than we have with COVID. So we are trying to invest in mental health. We've been doing that for over 2 months. Okay, so there's a real message there to share.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, a couple of questions from the media. We would love, of course, to hear from the family and to the investigation, if you can share with us, please. I mean, has there been any actual investigation talking to the family or anybody at all about the possibility of foul play on this?
Is there surveillance?
There's been limited conversation with family. But I can't explain.
I mean, are you actively pursuing anything other than
What makes it
suicide?
a suicide versus a homicide? Trying to learn more about it.
Just because he was hanging?
Where he was. I don't know where he was before this happened.
Who did the preliminary report? Who's responsible for that?
The coroner's office.
And how did you guys, what separates?
So you had a question on separation?
Yes.
So you have the city, okay?
No, I wanted to know the
Separation
separation
of
of the
homicide
homicide or
suicide.
versus the suicide.
How can you tell the difference if you haven't talked to them?
Okay, so okay.
Is the family able to obtain a separate coroner from your whole department? Are they able to obtain their own coroner? Because I think they should. We already know about George Floyd. We know about the first one. They should get their own. They should get their own. Are they able to do that? Is that able to happen?
I spoke to the sister earlier today. When she gets here, I think she's about an hour out or whatever. We will offer that up and we'll have that conversation with her.
You should.
Like when I told you that we're not going to leave a stone unturned. We're not gonna leave a stone unturned.
That's what they said 3 weeks ago about George Floyd.
Act urgently, please.
Can't fix Minneapolis.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
But you can fix here.
So you were saying
You can fix here. That's what we're trying to say. That's what we're trying to say.
Okay, so you were stating that there was 15 suicides in the city so far, right? And how many of the allegedly? How many of those have been an African American person? Just a question.
I don't have that data, but if I get your name and number, I'll find that out. I don't have it.
How many
Okay, and then my second thing.
my nephew killed himself, so
Okay, and then my second thing is.
we have to recognize this.
We're not
My
saying-
nephew hung himself.
We're not saying
You understand? So what we want to know is just the truth, when it's the truth. We don't need to know how many of the other ones were. We need to know what happened here and why this young man is hanging in the hall. You know what I'm saying? In the middle of somewhere. Black people kill themselves, it happens. But we just need to know the truth. We don't care about the other ones right now. We need to know what happened here. Let the man know what happened here and how a suicide can be determined. How can a suicide and a homicide be determined differently? If you don't know all the answers, if you don't know his mental health, if you don't know his history, how is that determined a suicide? Does he behave differently? That's what we need to know from the coroner. And until we get that answer, the man has been killed. We don't know how. It's a possible homicide. It is a homicide.
Will you guys be running an internal investigation within your department and then also your coroner to get a better understanding of who was actually appearing and like what is their past history with dealing with the community?
I think it goes to the question I was trying to answer earlier. So I just want to explain. The city of Palmdale doesn't have a police department. We contract out with the LA County Sheriff's Department. The coroner is an LA County coroner. So they are doing that work. We are going to get all the reports. Okay? And then we are going to discuss with the family. We do not have all the information. And to the gentleman's point, when the family gets here and we get more information at the investigation and they find out where he was living and they ask those questions, like there's a lot of unanswered questions. So why we're standing up here to give you preliminary answers to some of these questions. We can't speculate. Okay, so my commitment to you and our city's commitment to you and the Sheriff's Department's commitment to you is when we have more information, we will be 100% transparent. That's my promise and my commitment to you. Okay?
Can we bring the AV Times?
You can bring everybody.
No, I'm saying, are you guys able to organize AV Times? Because they're
That's a
more
news
press.
agency like these other guys. I don't know what we can do with that. They can do what they can do.
Why is it just now being
Can you
televised?
put it down so I can...
While you are investigating and you don't have facts, can you promise the community that you won't continue to talk about suicide? That sways perception. If you don't know anything, then you we will talk about things further, but let me finish. What you have is ABC walked in maybe 20 minutes ago, and the first thing you said is, we have had 15 suicides in Palmdale. That's the first thing that the world is going to hear when you don't have facts. Can you promise the community that you're going to say, when we know more, we will tell you more, and we won't offer information that doesn't pertain to this case?
I will own that. I will own that from yesterday in front of everybody. Can I also ask that we stop talking about lynchings? No.
Oh no! Oh no!
This is a possible lynching as much as it's a possible suicide. Can I respond to your question? What you're saying, can we stop talking about lynchings?
As this case, not to the
It should be an either or.
Because that was our response yesterday. When we saw on social media that people were alleging that there was a lynching, right? We had preliminary information. So, to the lady's point in the back, maybe we should have said an alleged suicide, right?
It's just as much a lynching as it is a suicide.
Can I answer?
I have a
Can I
question.
answer your question? Okay. First, you cannot, no community will get guarantee you they have freedom of speech. They can say, they can allege whatever they want. You're held to a different accountability than they are. It's also what you're saying. This situation, in such a hard time, in the middle of race relations, is why it's being characterized as such. And in a country that has failed to really recognize our history, this is the time when people are trying to get acknowledgement. So it's beyond just this case. We need information on this case, but you can't ask the community to talk about stuff that we've been trying to suppress for decades, right? So until you can say it was not a lynching, you can't say don't say it was, because you're alleging that it wasn't in the first place. So they're gonna say what they think until you and the coroner and everyone that's a part of this department says this is exactly what it was. Until then, you can't expect anything else but fear and suspicion.
Exactly. Yes!
Yes, absolutely. That's why we've been out there at every single one, the protests in this city. Every single one. Really? Been out there. We've been out there. If you were there, we were there. If you didn't see me, well, hold on. They had to put a bandana and my ball cap on, and maybe that makes a little more sense. But we've been out there every single one. Every single one.
Quarantine style.
Every single rally, when I went to a rally this weekend, and they said you were they don't like it.
Oh, no. So you were in the wrong city. Yeah. So, you're right.
Who cares? That's not even the point right now. Okay.
I agree.
Again, I just have two questions again. One is, excuse me, this is for everybody. Is there surveillance cameras in this park, in this center? And are they, there's none?
Even the restaurant. Wow.
Not even the
nowhere
restaurant.
around
So,
here.
that's, okay, my second question is, why has there been, this happened 2 days ago, why has there been no news? This is to you news reporters. Why has there been no news? Now. I've looked through the news. There is no news. Only AV Times is the only people. And Kate, yeah. Why is this not being publicized like every other situation?
I found out on Facebook.
I found out
today. Yesterday morning, the city put out a release on this.
But it hasn't reached the news.
I should have changed the words, and I'll own that.
And how come you guys always put black man killed and black man lynched?
We did not as a city.
That was on
the media.
It's not in the AD News.
You have to say man. That's very disrespectful.
You're asking for us not to talk about lynchings, and you said that you would promise that you would, try to not say those things and deem it that it's a suicide. However, I've been out here. Memorial Day made my 14th year. 14th year living in Antelope Valley. I have birthed 4, raised 5 sons. They used to go to the elementary school here in Palmdale. Every other day, there was a family who has a Confederate flag in their yard.
That's what I was going to say.
I'm so sorry.
That's common.
So when we see that, and I guess maybe there was some type of war within the family, because one day it was up, one day it was down. One day it was up, one day it was down. So when we drive around in our neighborhood and you tell us not to say, oh, it was a lynching, and we have a young man in his 20s who was just at a rally marching for Black Lives Matter, that he would take his life.
Wait, he was marching up there?
Yes.
He would take his life,
Yeah.
and then he hangs
He came
himself
up missing from a
in a
rally.
tree.
Okay.
Now, people commit suicide. We're not going to dismiss that thought. But most black people, we do not jump off trees and hang ourselves.
In a public park.
That's not
Just gotta go.
That's why we're committed to get the answer.
So
when will we have new answers?
Wow.
How long is it going to take?
They have to be family first.
And they'll watch first 48. 3 or 4 months ago.
In my 14 years of living out here, I have never once heard anything like this. I mean, things happen, but I ain't never heard no black man hang themselves. I'm sorry. All the years that I've lived out here.
Why are there no cameras on this government building, and why are there no plans to put cameras on this government building?
The press could come out, but y'all can't put no cameras on the building.
If we meet with the family and we meet with the community leaders, and that is a priority at that point, then I'm sure we will do that. But I think we will.
There's community leaders all sitting right here. It's been a priority. It's been a priority, sir.
I just want to say something. We were out there, we were marching, and we were saying stuff like, we are going to make the change. We're going to do this. We're going to get out and vote. We're going to do all this stuff. I just want to ask what you can promise us that you can do for our city to start making changes, because
Like,
there's just a lot of
having people take down
that
the
are hurt
Confederate
and not
flags.
okay with what's
Prevention of
going on in
suicide
the
of
city.
black men, if you feel that it is black men.
Okay, we're having hard trouble hearing him.
I'm saying we're out here marching for love, unity. We're out here marching for like making a change. We're gonna get out there and vote and make the change ourselves. I want to know what you guys are trying to do that's gonna make the change and like start helping our community, because it's just like a lot of people are hurting our community. It's just like
And this
we're
is
not happy about things, you know.
And you guys are allowing this.
We're in a bunch of those marches. We were there.
But like, yeah, you guys have been voted in to represent people. I just want to know on like.
I'd like to say something.
This takes more than marches.
There's a lot of mental stress that's going on because of COVID. We're experiencing it here in Palmdale, just like in the entire Antelope Valley, like in the state of California and all of the United States. The mental health services, this is why the issue of suicide, why 14 names or 14 persons have been mentioned. Mental health is a deficit in the Antelope Valley.
It's everywhere.
We need everywhere, but particularly here in the Antelope Valley. This is a major, major concern, and we are addressing it as a city. Talk about solutions for certain problems. Mental health is an issue that we need to address. So that's why we're talking about that. I just want to make sure. I'm the mayor pro tem of the city. I'm here in support of the mayor, the sheriff, city manager. We will not allow, and we have told the family that's been here already, we will not allow this to stop until we have a definite answer from the proper investigative agencies. Wherever the facts may lead, we're going to go there. Okay? We promise you that, and that's what we're going to do.
So are we blaming this on COVID, or is this a mental health issue? Because you said that in the same sentence.
COVID,
or is it a homicide?
Because of the stay at home.
Or homicide.
Just a minute. Because of
Or
the
those
stay at home
restrictions
order,
were not-
so many people
were
losing
not
their jobs,
restricted on that
people
day.
staying in home, businesses have been shut down. There's been an increase in mental health issues in the community.
Or do you think the increase of mental health in the community is a black man driving by a Confederate
We are
flag?
hard pressed to address that
Could that
because of the
contribute to
limited
mental
resources.
health?
But we will do everything possible to address that, and we're going to get to the bottom of the investigation of this terrible.
If we are not able to put up black this flag in front of our house.
We're going to go talk to the family. So, yes, ma'am.
But I do want to ask you, if we have no surveillance country, right? Why are there more surveillance in the business area?
Or right here. There's 3 right here, ma'am.
These are, that's so that we can broadcast the meeting so you can watch it.
It was my question. But
This guy's like Trump.
so why are there surveillance cameras in middle school? Where are they here? Why are they not here? Also, why are there? Okay.
Go.
So you said you were at a protest last week, and word of mouth. You were getting people's contact information and their names. You said you were going to call them back. It's been leaked. Why haven't you done that? And you haven't even proposed a budget. Where are the budgets?
If this is a white guy, will you take him more serious?
Who's in charge of engaging with your community and giving them tools? And as for you guys as well, please, if you guys are going to publish this, can anybody here get an actual copy of what's going on around? Because seriously, the media coverage is not doing it.
We need names. What are y'all names?
In the front. What are those cameras, sir?
Why is it that the fact that only one cop showed up? Why is it that the fact that some kids will have like a little boo-boo at the park, 10 cops will show up, 10 cops will show up? No, barely people showed up when he was found, when his deceased body was found. Why has it not been like published everywhere?
And if there's police patrolling, how did you guys see it prior to somebody showing you guys the body hanging?
You guys state your guys' names and positions.
if y'all been walking with us, I just want to say y'all started off on a pretty awful foot. You guys are very tone deaf to the nation's issues. So I don't know if you're learning fast enough, but with this first report, if you have already admitted that you don't have enough evidence to rule it a suicide or a homicide, like, I don't know. What was on his person? Did he have a cell phone? Is there any way you could track his location? Otherwise,
Yes.
you don't
Cell phone
necessarily need a camera
pings.
here, but you could maybe find him walking somewhere around the road. Find other people walking somewhere.
Other cameras, cell phone pings.
And I can tell you, they're fully being vetted by the sheriff's department.
Do you guys have his cell phone?
Some of those same questions.
Excuse me, sir. My daughter
You
has
guys
a
don't
question
even
about
need
the
to be on
camera.
cell
Go ahead.
So, how many cameras do y'all have in this building? Y'all claim y'all don't have cameras, but it's cameras right there,
That's what we tried to
also
just
right
say.
here.
That's
So how
broadcast
y'all don't got
meeting.
cameras?
That's the broadcast.
So you guys just put those cameras there?
So the public, so the public can watch the council,
But he
the
told us
commission,
He said
the
it wasn't
library
no cameras.
board, all the different meetings. So you can watch it from.
Not
home.
exterior cameras. There's no surveillance.
What she's trying to insinuate is that there needs to be exterior
No.
cameras.
What we're asking is when we asked you about cameras, sir, in the beginning, you told us there were no cameras nowhere inside and out. You told us that there were no cameras. Okay, so the question was, she sat there and saw all these 3 cameras in here, and as an 11-year-old, she wanted to know. She has to vote one day, so she wants to know. She wants to trust in your word, and you said there were no cameras.
No, she's right.
Yeah, you
Okay.
said no cameras.
Yes, ma'am. That's right.
So words matter, and that's why we go around shouting Black Lives Matter, because Black lives are just as important as all lives and should not matter less. But if that were the case, we've seen the news. We know what's happening right now. And the autopsy report may have come back as a suicide, allegedly. You should have come out with a counter statement after you reopened it, saying that we apologize for saying it's a possible suicide. We are opening up the investigation, and we have yet to dismiss the idea of possible manslaughter. Are you going to put out a statement saying...
That's not manslaughter, that's straight murder. That's
Sorry,
a big difference.
murder. Are you guys going to put out a statement saying you were quick to rush into the observation, into the case, and then are you guys going to say anything about it? We need official statements.
And as you are looking for that statement, so are we. We're trying to get to the bottom line with the coroner's office. Again, and we should have stated it better, that it was a preliminary. We should have stressed that. We should have used, as the gentleman said, alleged. You know, you're absolutely right. But we were going off of what the coroner was telling the sheriff, that was telling us. We don't talk.
Or was it the sheriff's report of how they found the man in the car?
Of course. And that is why we've asked, and that's why this guy's been on the phone half the morning for us, trying to get additional resources to assist the sheriff's department in the investigation. And that's why we're asking the public to please help us in determining where's Robert been, what do you know about him, what can you not speculate, what can you definitively tell us, so they can put this puzzle together, so we can get a better picture of what happened here.
All you need is that day. That day in the day part, you do not need weeks.
Well,
You need where he left from, where he was going, and you need to see if there was cameras in that perimeter.
I think you guys... Anybody who was with him that day, please, we put out a press release with the sheriff's information. If anybody knows where he was that day or who he was with, please call and give that information. Okay?
Mr. Mayor, I do have one question for you.
We're families waiting on us.
So you made a statement that you were looking at outside agencies to investigate this matter. What is the process that you're going to go through with the outside agencies to investigate the matter? What is the process? Who are the outside agencies? Who are you contacting to bring in?
You guys want to answer that? They were on the phone. I was in the office, but they were directly on the phone.
First things first, we want to get the report, okay? And we want to get all the details, because a lot of the questions that were asked today haven't been answered. And until we get those answers, then we're going to go through a reckoning of, okay, and we're going to sit down with the family, and, you know...
Who are the outside agencies
We're not gonna stop. If we're not satisfied, if the family's not satisfied.
You guys were satisfied. We're making you unsatisfied.
District Attorney's Office, okay, to say, can you lend support? I know the Sheriff's Department and the District Attorney has already spoken to that, okay? So we've already reached out. So I don't know where. I think you said District Attorney's Office. Regulations.
No, I agree.
Really?
We're gonna go to the side. Okay, folks, thank you. We gotta get with the family, okay?
Board of Supervisors. Board of Supervisors.
Yeah, that was a bad, wrong name.
I have a question.
All right.
What are your names?
Can you guys tell us who you are? Can you guys tell us who you are?
Agarraste la familia que está ahí en la esquina, es lo que te estoy diciendo.